Hello, thank you for tuning in. It's Stuart, the Unrepentant Atheist here. And what I'm going to be talking about today is the way that Christians in particular are very selective in the way that they give credit to God for the good that they see and more or less give him a free pass for everything that's bad. So on Sunday, I was at a church service. In this particular congregation, every week somebody is invited up to read out their favorite verse. Okay, so I've got the Bible here in front of me, and this particular gentleman, this old man, I don't know, 75, 80 years old, his favorite verse is from 1 Corinthians chapter 13, well, effectively verse 13, where Paul is writing to the Corinthians, and he's just kind of defined love, saying love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, etc., etc. Yeah, love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with truth, protects, trusts, always perseveres, love never fails, etc., etc. And then it concludes with, what does it conclude with? Yes. These three remain, faith, hope, and love, but the greatest of these is love. So this is the big thing, the big mantra with Christianity, that love is the big thing. Christianity is a very loving religion, it's a very loving God, etc., etc. And he related an anecdote about this particular verse and what he told. By the way, sorry, before I go on to the anecdote, I skipped to the end of the book of Corinthians 1. Yeah? Now bear in mind everything that Paul has been going on about how wonderful Christian love is. Okay, let me read you this verse from the final chapter. Final greetings. All the brothers and sisters here send you greetings. Greet one another with a holy kiss. I, Paul, write this greeting in my own hand. If anyone does not love the Lord, let that person be cursed. Okay, how does that chime with, how is that consistent with chapter 13? Love is patient, love is kind. How is one verse consistent with another? It doesn't really, I mean, if love is patient and love is kind, cursing somebody for not loving the Lord is not really consistent with that, is it? We've often said, we atheists and others, there's no hate like Christian love, and that really sounds like it. So back to the anecdote. The anecdote was that this man was in his vehicle, I'm not sure what it was, motorbike or car. I think it was probably a motorbike, and he was involved in a collision with a car. He needed 6 months of reconstructive surgery. He only scraped through by the skin of his teeth, and because of the reconstructive surgery and all the therapy that he had, he was able to go on and lead a normal life. And he thanked his faith. He said he had faith in those who helped him. First of all, he had faith in God, that God delivered him from this situation. He had faith in the skill of the surgeons that did the surgery. He had faith in the nurses that cared for him. He had faith in the therapists that helped him to walk again, the skill and profession of the therapists. And I thought, listening to what he was saying, that out of all those he mentioned that he had faith in, the one who shouldn't have been there is God. If he had any kind of faith in, if God was somehow doing a good thing, how was God doing this? It was the surgeon that saved his bones and put him back together. It was the nurses that cared for him after he had his surgery. And it was the therapist that got him walking again. How can you credit God? How can you credit your faith in God for pulling through this thing? It doesn't really make any sense. It's cherry picking of the highest order. Because why is he in this mess in the first place? Why couldn't God save him the trouble and prevent the accident? So I just thought about this this verse. It seems inspired him. He had a Bible while he was in the hospital, and during the service he produced this Bible, a little Bible. He took it out. It was badly worn, and by all accounts he's had that Bible since the time he was in hospital, and he keeps it at his bedside. But I just don't see how he can credit faith in God, or how he can give God any credit whatsoever out of this particular incident, because clearly it was the professionalism of people that saved him and not God. And we see this not just in this case, but many anecdotes that we've heard on call-in shows, and people will often say, usually when pushed, when they've done their Kalam cosmological argument and had that knocked down, and all their other fallacies for why they believe in God, and then they'll say, oh yes, well actually I had an incurable illness and the doctors couldn't do anything for me, said I had 6 months to live. That was 10 years ago. Jesus saved me. This is how the selective imagination of Christians in particular works. They want to credit all the good things to God, and anything else that has happened, well, either that's the devil, or we live in a real world and bad things happen. Yeah, bad things happen and good things happen, and there's no evidence that a God is responsible for this, or a devil. But if you're going to be in an accident and you're going to get terribly hurt, and people are going to put you back together again, give them the credit, give them the full credit. Don't credit something for which you've got no good evidence that it even exists. Okay, thank you very much for watching. I'll be back again with another video. Bye for now.